All right, you absolutely handsome, amazing devils out there. Guys, I want to show you the power of just taking your appearance a little bit more seriously, putting in just the littlest bit more effort. This is one of my coaching clients, one of the legends that I am working with right now, and I obviously have his permission to share all of this. The before and after picture here is pretty freaking amazing. And do you know what time difference there is between these two pictures? 2 hours. This isn't some big magical radical transformation. It's not like he spent months and months and months working on himself. This is 2 hours of putting in just a little bit more effort into his grooming. He was going out there talking to lots of girls. In the picture on the left, that's how he usually dresses and how he usually does his hair. Basically, he wasn't really doing anything with his hair, and his beard was obviously a little bit messy, and you can see under his neck, he hasn't really shaved under his neck. The beard hasn't really been sculpted in any way. It looks like basically no effort has been put in. And he was putting in some effort, but it looks like he wasn't putting in as much effort as he could have. On the right, all he did was go to a barber. We literally told him, go to a barber. Here's a haircut that we recommend. In the coaching program, we give people recommendations and stuff like that. We gave him an example photo. We said, just show this to the barber. You don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to know how to get your hair done or anything. Just show them this picture and tell them to work on your hair and your beard, and they will do it for you. We told him to throw on a gold necklace. We told him to throw on a watch so he looks like he puts in some effort. And this is what he came away looking like. Literally a 2-hour transformation. This is available to so many of you. So many of you just aren't putting in a lot of effort into your grooming, into your appearance, into putting on a necklace or wearing some rings, wearing a watch or something like that. Just a little bit of effort, just sculpting the beard, something like that makes such a huge difference. And it doesn't have to take a long time. It doesn't have to take a whole lot of money. You can literally have this radical of a transformation in 2 hours. Absolute legend. I'll show you guys a few more transformations that are a little bit more longer term. And this is one of my favorite articles. I literally have this article bookmarked. I have sent this to so many people over the years. Absolutely love this article about the power of taking your appearance a little bit more seriously. And a lot of these are guys who have lost a lot of weight. And I'm going to show you how much of a difference that can make. But it's also that they have taken their appearance seriously. So look at this guy. He's gone from looking like just a normal dude on the left to on the right, looking like a little freaking stud muffin, someone who actually takes his appearance seriously. He's put in some effort. He's got a haircut that suits him. He's obviously lost a ton of weight. That helps make your face look more attractive. But look at how much more he has put in effort on the right and how good he looks. Here's another one. This is one of my favorite all-time transformations ever. A guy, again, on the left who wasn't putting a whole lot of effort into his appearance. He had a lot of weight to lose. He wasn't really taking his haircut seriously. Kind of just looks like his hair is doing whatever it wants to do. On the right, he's got a haircut that suits him. He's lost a ton of weight. He's grown a beard because that suits his face, and he's got it nicely trimmed and sculpted. My God, is that a handsome dude on the right? And which one of these guys do you think gets a little bit more attention from women? The guy who doesn't take his appearance seriously or doesn't put any effort into his grooming and his self-love, or the guy on the right who looks like he really likes himself? And that is what grooming and appearance and all of that is for. It's not some shallow thing of like, why do girls like guys? And, guys like attractive girls too. Why do people like, attractive people? It's not fair. No, 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 no. What you are showing when you put effort into your appearance or into the way that you dress or into the accessories you wear or your haircut or your beard or your teeth or your weight, what you are showing is I like myself and I take myself somewhat seriously. I care about myself and I would like you to care about me too. And if you don't care about me, that's fine. But that is what you're presenting to people. You're saying, I care about me. If you care about me, then I'll spend time with you. If not, beautiful, I'll go and talk to the next person. Why would people take you seriously if you don't take yourself seriously? Phrased another way, if you don't put love into your appearance, into your body and yourself, if you don't love yourself or put some love into yourself, why would you expect other people to love you? You're basically saying they need to do the thing that I'm unwilling to do myself. This article has also a few transformations from women, but I know, 80% of the audience here is men, but there's some cool ones with women too. a little bit more effort into the styling, a little bit more effort into the weight loss, obviously. This is just a crazy transformation. And his hair and his clothing were like, he was putting in some effort before, but even just the weight loss, my God, what a difference. Again, there's some female ones in here, which are just like mind blowing as well. Like, holy crap. We got some love for the older ladies as well. Good job, Granny, or I hope she's a granny, but good job, Granny. Like, my God, you have done an amazing job there. Look at this guy on the left, looking again, just like a normal average guy, and nothing wrong with being a normal average guy. But if you guys and girls want a little bit more matches on the dating apps, or you want a little bit more attention from the opposite sex, you don't have to radically change yourself. Yes, a lot of these guys and girls have lost a lot of weight, but you don't have to be a completely different person. You're just putting a bit of love into your effort and your appearance. You have been given this body. You are the custodian of your body. Why wouldn't you put a little bit of love into it? Take care of it. If you're in charge of a garden, you're going to water the plants. You're going to look after it. You're going to treat it with some love. The same thing with this body. Dress in a way that suits you, that fits your body type, whatever or however you might want to dress, that's fine. Just make sure the clothes fit you, that they're a decent size and all of that sort of stuff. Throw in a necklace, throw in some rings or a watch or something like that. Get a haircut that suits you, that looks good on you, and you will find that you get infinitely more attention. Another amazing transformation here. Another one, and to be clear, a lot of these guys or all of these guys and girls have lost weight. That's one way you can radically transform yourself. I'm showing you these on the screen because these are like crazy, insane transformations that are hopefully really inspiring. But again, my coaching client in 2 hours had this insane transformation already. He didn't change anything about his personality. He didn't become a different person. He didn't have to stop being his authentic, wonderful, honest self. He literally just went to a hairdresser or a barber and said, "Can you please make me look good? Here's an example photo." And they did. You're not becoming a different person. You don't have to completely change who you are. You don't have to stop being you. You're just putting a little bit more effort into the body that you have been given. So yeah, I could keep showing you more and more of these transformations that are just like absolutely mind-blowing and inspiring as hell and crazy good. I can even show you some of my own transformations. This is back when I used to be a little bit more of a chubby boy on the left, and then there's me when I'm much leaner. Here's another one, me on the left. I mean, for God, I'm literally out in public and you can see there's like stains all over my t-shirt. Like, look at this. There's just stains everywhere. The hair, I just put zero effort in. Beard and mustache was just whatever is going to grow. I'm just going to leave it there. No effort whatsoever. And then on the right, you can see I'm putting in a little bit more effort. I'm taking myself a little bit more seriously. Or if you want to phrase it like this, I'm putting a little bit more love into the way that I look. I'm taking care of my body. And then another good example. So here on the left is me. I'm showing this one basically to show you how chubby I used to be. So here's me on the left, quite chubby little boy. And then there's me here on the right. And I've lost quite a lot of weight and I've lost quite a lot of hair too. But yeah, you can see the difference that putting in a little bit of effort makes. And yes, a lot of the transformations that I've shown on the screen there are people losing tons of weight or spending years working on themselves. But you start with little tiny baby steps. You start with maybe dressing in clothes that actually fit you instead of loose, baggy clothes that hide who you are. You start going for little walks and maybe you go to the gym if you want to, and you just start that process of looking after the body or pouring a little bit of effort and love into the body. Maybe you start throwing in some accessories. You buy a ring, maybe you buy a watch, maybe you get yourself a necklace. Maybe you've always wanted to get a tattoo or something and you decide to finally make that happen. Maybe you get a piercing, an earring or something. Whatever you want to do, whatever you've been thinking about doing, but you're basically just putting in a little bit more effort. The same thing applies for those of you who are on the dating apps and maybe you're not putting a ton of effort into your pictures. Get yourself a decent camera, a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, even just one of the latest smartphones or cell phones. Use one of those and take some decent pictures. Go outside, go somewhere nice and take some pictures. Take a lot of pictures. You'll slowly improve your pictures over time. I have a ton of articles. I have a ton of videos of how to actually take better pictures. But everything that I'm saying here today is to try and inspire you a little bit to just put the tiniest bit more effort into the way that you look, especially for those of you who are going to or who are going out there to meet women, or to meet guys, or to start the dating process, or even going to a job interview or going out to bars and trying to make some friends, like if you just put the littlest bit more effort into your appearance, it will make such an insane difference in the way that people treat you. Because yes, appearance is something that matters to people. They form a judgment based on how you look and how much effort you have put into your appearance. It's not just about, were you born as a 6'2" Chad who just looks like an absolute god? No, it's how much effort have you put into the body that you've been given, and the face, I guess, that you've been given, and the clothes that you're wearing. Have you put in some effort? You don't have to be an up-to-date style person. I'm not. I don't follow fashion trends or any of that. You don't have to look like an absolute god. You don't have to be super tall. You don't even have to be super lean. It's okay if you got a little bit of body fat, but we're just talking about starting the process of putting in some effort into your physical appearance. And yes, it makes a difference. If you Google something called the halo effect, it is kind of a bias that we have where we naturally assume that someone who is more attractive or who has put in more effort to their appearance must naturally be cooler or smarter or better. Yes, that is a judgment, but that is what our brains do. We are all humans with an ego. We all judge, and we can learn to let that go. But the outside world and most of the people in the world are going to naturally want to be around you more if you put just a little bit of effort into your appearance. Again, it doesn't have to be anything drastic. We're not talking about you becoming a different person or changing or losing yourself or no longer being you. We're not talking about you being dishonest or no longer being authentic or no longer being the real you. We're talking about putting in a little bit of effort to the way that you dress or the way that you show yourself off to the rest of the world, because that is an act of self-love. If you have a beautiful garden, people will naturally assume, wow, that must be someone that cares about their garden. I'm going to care about their garden too. And so if you're wanting to date people or get a job or have friends or any of that, if you put effort into your body and your face, which I guess is just part of your body, if you put effort into your body and face, people are going to assume, whoa, that's someone who puts effort into themselves. I would like to put effort into them too. You can call that shallow. You can rally against it and say it's unfair. You can say that it sucks. You can say, why won't people love the real me? Because the real you is someone that you're not putting a lot of effort into right now. You might be putting effort in some aspects, but the first thing that people see is your appearance. And if you haven't put any effort into the appearance, then don't get mad if other people don't necessarily take you seriously. That doesn't mean you're not a wonderful person. That doesn't mean that they should all judge you and call you ugly and any of that. No. But if you haven't put effort into the very first thing that people are going to see when they look at you, why would you expect them to put effort into you, to go on dates with you, to fall in love with you? And they might anyway. There are plenty of people on the planet who find partners and fall in love and all of that. I am not saying that you are unworthy of love because you don't put in effort. No. But if you're unhappy with your current dating life, this is the first thing that people see. It is the low-hanging fruit to work on and improve. This is the first thing that I would say to change. I'd also say, I guess, work on the self-love at the same time. Work on the self-love and putting a decent cover on the outside of your book. If you want someone to buy your book, you put a decent front cover on it. If I want you guys to watch my videos, I put a decent thumbnail that might make you click. Doesn't matter how amazing the content is. If I put the world's worst thumbnail, 30% of you will click. Like, I'll get 30% as many views compared to if I put a really good thumbnail or a decent thumbnail. And so call that shallow, call that whatever you want. But if you don't put effort into stuff, don't then be surprised if sometimes people don't take you as seriously. So again, I want to give a big shout out to my coaching client here for having the, I guess, humility to go to a barber and say, hey, can you please make me look a little better? Hey, can I please I want to start taking myself seriously. Can you please help with that? Good job him throwing on a necklace, and he's wearing a watch, and he's done some other things. We've started working on his style as well. That's obviously one of the things that we help people with in the coaching program. So big shout out to him, and big shout out to him for being brave enough for me to put his face on a YouTube video. Is that not incredibly brave? Guys, can we leave a comment down below just saying like, wow, this guy's brave or something like that? Give him a shout out, give him a bit of love. He'll probably read your comments, or if you guys write anything nice, I will read them out to him. Amazing, amazing guy. He's absolutely been crushing it, by the way. I can't wait for him to finish up his coaching so I can see if he wants to jump on the channel and give his story. But he started out having never approached any women, being very insecure about his looks, about himself, about who he is as a person and all of that. And now I think he's approached like 100 women or something, or he's getting close to 100. He might have done like 60 or 70. So he's absolutely been crushing it. He's been getting some phone numbers. He's gone from like when he first came to the coaching program, he was calling everything a brutal rejection. And he'd be like, oh my God, like they're brutally rejecting me. I feel so hurt. I feel like running home and crying. These girls are hurting my feelings. They're rejecting me. And we got him to a point where now every single time a woman says no to him or she says, I have a boyfriend, he's saying one thing that he's grateful for. And he's saying to her, you know, thank you for being honest with me. I hope you and your boyfriend are really happy together. I hope you guys have a beautiful relationship together. And some of those women are turning around and saying something nice back to him and saying, wow, that's so sweet of you. Thank you for wishing me and my boyfriend, you know, a happy relationship. I hope you go and find a woman. Keep talking to more women. Keep doing this. That is the power of gratitude. That is what we help people work on in the coaching program. But I really want to highlight this absolute legend. What an amazing human being he is. I say that about all of my coaching clients. I love all of my coaching clients equally. If you would like more help with any of this, if you're a little bit lost when it comes to dating, if you have no idea what the hell you're doing when it comes to appearance and putting in a little bit more effort and putting in a little bit more self-love into the way that you present yourself to the outside world and to women, I am right here. I will help you. We have coaching, and right now I'm giving a big 50% off discount on basically all of my coaching. So if you're one of the guys who've been wanting to come to the big VIP group coaching program, but you've been thinking $11,000, I can't pay that, way too much money, Andy. Right now, I'm offering that for $6,000, only for a limited time. We have payment plans if you need one. So I will work with you and we'll figure out how much you can pay and all of that. If you don't have as much money, apply anyway, or come shoot me an email anyway, and I will talk with you. I'm happy to jump on a call with you and figure out whatever we need to figure out. Money doesn't have to be an excuse or a limiting belief, but you absolutely are allowed to have the life that you want to live. You are absolutely allowed to date beautiful women, get a girlfriend and get married, or have plenty of fun, crazy, wild sexual experiences. If you want that, you are allowed the things that you want. Don't let your limiting beliefs hold you back. I will leave a link down below to that coaching program. I'm also offering 50% off on my one-on-one coaching as well. So I'll leave a link down there below to that. We have our affordable coaching program, the Abundance Collective, which is $200 a month. So there's a bunch of different options there. If you want some more help with this stuff, I am right here. All of that is down below. But go out there, ladies and gentlemen, and start putting in a little bit of love into the way that you look. I promise it makes such a big difference. People will start taking you a lot more seriously when you start to take yourself a little bit more seriously.